Hi, welcome to the Don't Know Show. Steve's not here. No, he's really not. I promise you, he is not here. All right, he is going to text in on the chat box, but he's really not here. He is more occupied going to a show than to be on our show. How rude is that? It's not really rude because, sometimes real life does happen. And, I don't get to take a vacation or whatever, but I'll ramble on the show for you guys, and he will make a comment or two on the chat box. So watch the show. Hi, I'm Scott. Steve's not here. He's at a different show instead of our show. How cool is that? Oh, you want a 10-minute show? So anyway, I just had this and we're getting people chatting with me today, which is going to be kind of fun. Steve's chatting, Jeannie's chatting. We'll probably get a few more people, but they can't do too much because they're busy too. But anyway, this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show, a podcast, and a live Twitch stream. And normally we're going to talk about what's going on worldwide and stuff like that. But it's kind of important to please pass this on to your friends, neighbors, relatives, people you don't even know. It doesn't matter. Our goal is to hit 1 million followers by the end of 2023 because we only have like 912, so 1,000. So we need more. Somebody is cooking outside and it's coming in my window. It's so nice out. I've got the windows open and the fan blowing fresh air in here. It smells like charcoal and burgers. Charcoal and burgers. Must be the bar across the street. They've been doing some outside stuff today. But anyway, normally we talk about the things that are behind us on our screen. And today I wanted to show you the picture in my backyard of my tulip tree. And people are going, what the hell is a tulip tree? It's not really a tulip tree, but a lot of people call it a tulip tree. It is a magnolia. This is a picture actually got taken last week when it was, we had just had a whole bunch of rain and the sun came out. And I took this picture because everything looks so pretty. Unfortunately, the flowers don't last. I think the tree's already half denuded, which is kind of sad. I mean, sometimes being nude's okay, but it's not the same on a tree. So anywho's, not much to talk about on Steve's site because he didn't give me any pictures to work with. If he had sent me a picture, I would have shared it and explained what the picture was about. It would have been wrong, but it would have been funny. So maybe he'll do that anyway because he's got time before his show starts. Maybe he'll take a picture of something and send it to me on my phone. I'll show you what the picture is, and then I will tell you what I think the picture is. That could be interesting, right? So anyway, we did have an interesting conversation last week about Steve wanting me to take a picture of myself on the toilet with my Reader's Digest. Good news and bad news. We took 6 pictures. None of them are worth a damn. However, I have an idea, because I do with the party buses and stuff like that. I go to the Quick Trip, and the Quick Trip has really, really big bathrooms. Our bathrooms, for some stupid reason, are really tiny in our house. We've got a really nice house, but little itty bitty bathrooms. So when you're sitting on them, everything's right there. So, you don't want to see my junk while I'm on the toilet. And yes, Steve told me you could put my shirt down there, but that doesn't look like the pictures he sent me. They look natural, and that would not look natural. So he wanted me to do something about a Sports Illustrated cover. I do know, I didn't even open it. Oh, it is about Martha Stewart. He did put that in there. Apparently she is the oldest woman in the history of SI to be on the magazine or in the magazine. See on the front cover? I suppose I should click on it and see what it says. Normally Steve opens everything up on his end because I got so much other stuff going, but all right. Let's see. Oh, you sent a bunch of pictures to my phone. Nothing came across yet. Let's see what we got here. All right. Nothing. I'm going to move it a little. One of the problems we have at our house here, even though I have a microcell so that my cell phone will work in my house, between the office and where the microcell is just happens to be a hard wall for fires and stuff like that. And it really screws up text. So what I'm going to do, hang on a second. Move this over here. I know that comes in pretty good over there, so hopefully it's just a lag because he sent me a bunch of pictures. Yep, this okay. It's going to be a little bit hesitating every once in a while because I'm going to read. It's really kind of funny. I don't do those. What do they call those things where you can watch? You pay to watch people get naughty. I was going through. I got one of my games that I played. They had paid advertising, and it was about this, and it was really kind of funny. They said, "I'm sorry that I don't talk smoothly, but whenever people talk or chat to me, I have to talk to them. So when I'm talking to them, it screws up my train of thought." And I can see they're right. You think you sent them to the wrong Scott. That figures. There's only one Scott that matters to you right now. Aha. All right. Something came in this time. Let's see what it is. It says picture. Oh, I'm getting even more. Okay, let me open this up. I'm not going to put it to the computer to share it that way because that would just take too long. So we'll try doing it this way. Okay, this is one of the pictures that Steve just sent me. And it's kind of weird because there's some greens in there, so it's bleeding through on my green screen. Okay. Since there are people in the audience, this is obviously some kind of a show. I'm going to say it's not a Cirque du Soleil. It's got a lot of flowers. It's got like a checkerboard floor. I'm going to say a lot of people play fantasy football, but these people are playing fantasy chess. That's what this is. This is a fantasy chess tournament. Okay. That is what Scott says Steve's picture is. All right. Now, for those of you who have not seen it, I am going to be able to share this. And share. Okay. This is the Sports Illustrated Martha Stewart edition as she breaks all the records for the oldest person ever to appear in the magazine in a swimsuit. I was going to say if they would pay me to be in a swimsuit on there, I would do it too, but she is older than me, so she'd still hold the record. How cool is that? So it's kind of nice to see that people are. We've talked about this before. We are in a situation nowadays where a small group of people are taking offense to absolutely everything, and it's just wrong. I mean, there are things that you should be offended by, but being on the cover of a magazine like this is not offensive. I mean, you may not like Martha Stewart. Cares? She knows how to cook, and she still looks good in a bathing suit at her age. What's wrong with that? 81 years old, not cool. That was Katy. What was Katy Perry concert? 81 years, not cool. Oh, it was the Katy Perry concert on the picture. I got it. And she's 81 years old, so it's not cool. She's not on the cover? Okay. Oh, I see. Steve wants hot young girls in bikinis. Okay, just remember, Steve, at your age, anything, 50 and less is already young. So, I know, it's worse for me because I'm older than you. Okay, so let's see. What else do we got? You did not give me the list of tasks, so we'll save that for next week when you are here. Oh, wait a second. She is on the cover? She's on the cover. Okay, see? But she shouldn't be on the cover. Oh, well, let's put it this way. She got paid really well to be on the cover. What's wrong with that? Again, I do it for half the money that they paid her. Literally, half the money I would be on the cover, and I would wear a bikini. I certainly would. Maybe not a French kind, but I'd wear one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, besides, I have moves, right? I'm a guy. Okay, Steve came up with a subject that is one that I also enjoy. We're going to get spaced out. I mean, Oh, it's about space, not, well, it is outer space. It's not, it's about time. It's about space. Yeah, it's not that. Apparently, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. They were going to eliminate switching back and forth for daylight saving time. It did not get made official. It passed one side, but not the other, and it sort of just got ignored. But Steve came up with a valid question. What about lunar standard time? We talk about space all the time. All right. We know that we are going to start colonizing space. This is going to happen. One of two things is going to happen. We're either going to colonize space or the world's going to be blown up before we get to that point. I'm positive. Steve's positive. The show's positive. We're going to colonize space. All right. Obviously, we've already had people in this International Space Station. We now have some private concerns that are going to be going up into outer space. Sooner or later, they're also going to create something like the International Space Station, only for private things where they can, like a vacation thing. But the moon is going to be the first place logically to build a settlement on, simply because it's close, relatively speaking. Getting materials there, even though it's not going to be cheap, it would be a lot cheaper than getting them to Mars, which will probably be the next stop. Unless, of course, we get lucky enough to find some benevolent aliens that say, you guys are kind of screwed up, but you're getting there, and maybe with our help, you won't be completely screwed up forever. Like Star Trek, the Vulcans will show up because they were benevolent. So, again, positive thinking. One of the two things is going to happen. So I'm going for the moon. Unfortunately, I seriously doubt if it's going to happen in my lifetime, although I still plan on making it to 150. I know it's probably only going to be 125, but you got to have goals. So my goal is 150. So, there's a possibility that I'll have made enough money doing something like this. And people say, dude, you guys have been making us laugh for a long time. We won the lottery. So here you have a big chunk of money. And then I'll go. Oh, bad reception down in the basement of Excalibur. Aha, that makes sense. By the way, the Tournament of Kings is kind of like the, what do they call that thing we have here? Not the Renaissance Fair. It's the one that they do jousting and all that kind of good stuff. And it's going to be held at the Excalibur. Well, it is being held at the Excalibur. It's already there. So, and that's where Steve is today. So let's see what he had for. Oh, is it Marco Rubio did this? Yep. Marco Rubio, not Mark. Marco Rubio introduced the Sunshine Protection Act of 2023 for the 118th Congress. The legislation would end the antiquated practice of changing the clocks twice a year. All right. Apparently they're trying it again, so we'll see what happens. I'm game for it, mainly because even when they switch things around in the wintertime, one of the reasons that people are complaining is it's going to be dark when the kids go to school. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I remember going into the bus. It was dark when I went to school. All right. Granted, it started getting light. And by the time the bus got to school, the sun was up. So it wasn't like we were out in the dark for any length of time. But I know in rural areas like where I live now, there are times where the bus run in the morning is an hour and a half long. Okay. So you know that the first couple of people picked up is definitely dark. So it's not the end of the world. It's normal. Again, I just read an article. I can't remember if it was one of the ones I read in Reader's Digest or not, but one of the things that people fail to realize, before electricity, people pretty much woke up when the sun came up, went to bed shortly after the sun went down. So in the northern or southern hemispheres during their particular winters, they went to bed earlier because what can you do at night? Obviously, nowadays we have electricity, we have the internet, we have social media, we have television, you know, all that kind of stuff. So people have things to do. Not only that, there's a lot of businesses that are open 24 hours a day. So, you know, times aren't as rigid as they used to be. So, yeah, I like that. I'll use the Stargate. I love it. It's, I actually enjoyed both the movie and the series, Stargate SG-1. A lot of the science fiction books that I read all say the same thing. Actually, going faster than the speed of light is theoretically not possible. However, wormholes and stuff like that bypass that. It's not like you're traveling that far. You're just literally like walking through a doorway into another spot. Again, that's just theory too, until, you know, it's true. All right, see what else Steve had on here for me to check out. Oh, yeah, here's the thing about trying to find out time on the moon. Let's see what that says. Bloop. If daylight savings time is tricky, try figuring out time on the moon. Okay, what does it say about this? We need to define on the moon, a time on the moon, so that when astronauts are docking, they won't tumble into each other. Okay. Interesting. I should have probably read this because there's a lot of information on here. But again, what's probably going to happen is they will use the UZC, which is Universal Time. Not committee. I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, it'll sort of make sense because there's a light side of the moon and a dark side of the moon. So if you're on the light side of the moon, it's pretty much light all the time. If you're on the dark side of the moon, it's dark all the time. So knowing time is important. And again, I like to bring this up because I do like reading science fiction. The series that I'm reading now, which is The Expanse, they mentioned that they use Earth time as a standard, even on other planets that have different time zones, or, you know, longer days, shorter days. When you're in a ship and you're not even on a planet, they follow those 24-hour day times. Oh, he's sending me more stuff. Let's see what else he's got for us. Oh. Ooh. He sent a picture of what? All right. I'm not exactly sure what this is a picture of. It kind of looks like a bunch of people in a meeting, possibly at Steve's work. No, it can't be at Steve's work because he doesn't do that. Although I think he took this picture because the guy right there, if you look really close, looks like he's got spiky hair, and it's actually a picture of a plant. So that's kind of cool. Probably should have saved that, though, for next week when he was here. Oh, just sent the picture of the talk? What is a talk? Okay. Well, it's whatever I was talking about. Okay, so let's go away from this. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing people actually starting to build and live on the moon, because that means that everything we've been reading is coming to fruition. I do know and appreciate that Star Trek has made such a huge advance in technology in real life simply because it gave smart people the idea to try to make stuff that was happening in the show that they found so fascinating real. Cell phones come from, you know, communicators. I mean, literally your flip phone, which was, you know, granted your first cell phones were like big box bag phones with handles like the old fashioned rotary dial phones, big honking ass handles. But then they came the flip phones. That was the communicator, just like the communicator. So, you know, lots of cool stuff comes from science fiction because science fiction becomes science fact. Yes, we like science fact. All right, let's see what else we got. With all the switching back and forth between screens, I see why Steve loses his cursor. It does go away. All right. This is interesting. Steve asked this question. Is there water in space? All right, correct answers only. And according to Steve, there is now. The guy in the middle is the star of Mad Apple in Las Vegas. Okay, it's not the boss. Phew! I won't get in trouble then. So anyway, let's see what this says. There is an experimental space tug with a water-based engine. How cool is that? Using a combination of solar power, microwaves, and distilled water, has managed to lift momentous spaces Vigoride 5 spacecraft thousands of feet from its original orbit in what is a critical milestone for the California-based startup. Very cool. It looks like they got it up to 1.86 miles or 3 kilometers during the demonstration, moving it from its original orbit. That's impressive. So one of the things that they also think about water is it is theoretically one of the most prevalent things in the universe. So if they can manage to make don't read, you just want to know what I think. Well, that's why I'm telling you what I think. They say that water is one of the most readily you can find frozen water, ice, stuff like that can be used. If they could use water to make ships fly, that would be the cheapest way to fly. The only disadvantage as I see to that is, yes, I know this is the Don't Know show. Boy, you're worse on your cell phone than you are in real life. So, anywho's, I think that's going to be really cool if they get this thing to work. Well, obviously it does work. My best guess is that this is going to work and it's going to be efficient. The only thing I'm concerned about, we already have areas that go through severe droughts. We're already talking about certain areas where water is very hard to come by. And then, of course, we have the opposite problem with the polar ice caps melting, that now we're going to have major flooding all over the place. But everything I remember, and again, this is the Don't Know show, and I don't remember a lot of stuff, but from school is water doesn't disappear. If you boil it, it becomes steam. When the steam cools down, it once again becomes water. If you freeze it, it turns into ice. Once the ice melts, it's once again water. If you drink water and you pee it out, if when you die, your moisture that's in your body returns to the earth for all practical purposes. So theoretically, water's constant. Now we know how water is. It's H2O. I'm not 100% sure if they have created any way to manufacture water using just hydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Steve's going to try to get in here. Check this out. All right. Where the heck is it? There we go. Okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. Sorry, folks. I cannot talk and type at the same time. Oh, hopefully it'll go through. Let me move the phone farther away. Come on, work. Come on. I think it's going to tell me it doesn't want to leave. Weird. I have 2 bars. Okay. I don't think it went through. I don't know why it does that. Yours came through to me when I moved it over there, but I got nothing. It's just circling and circling and circling. I wonder if maybe if I stop it and redo it, it'll work. Okay. Oops. There we go. Oh, did that go through? I crying out loud. You know, cell phones are great when they work. All right. I don't know. Oh, wonderful. Sorry, folks. Steve came up with something, but he keeps forgetting that we're rural, so I'm using a microcell. Huh. Password went right through. Go figure. Did you get the first one? All right, I'm getting a text from you. It's weird. How come it can go through? I know it's not the meeting code. The meeting code is still getting this blue circle of death. Very annoying. I hate it when it does that. I will try doing it this way. Hang on. Okay. I had to go all the way to the window for it to work. Did you get it? Oh, I like this. First time chat. Don't know if it's a real one or not because we get those all the time. So, anywho's, I'm assuming it came through because it finally left on my end. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay, since that person that just chatted me is not in the viewers list, I'm assuming that that is a bot. Couldn't send message. Really? Okay. All right. Well, anyway, while Steve's trying to figure that out, I'm going back to, oh, I got to go back to the chat box. There we go. I sent you that. That went through first. Back, it went backwards. Ah, there we go. See, it wasn't me. It was you. Although it was partially me too. It's so nice when technology works, but when it doesn't work, it's very, very frustrating. So, okay, we got that off. Did you come through yet? Yeah, because you're not even in on your cell phone, which is kind of weird. Ah, it says Emma is real. Yay, we like real people. Now, the real question, though, is why would I want to see a celebrity tickled? I find that to be kind of an odd thing. Watching somebody get tickled is not interesting to me. However, I assume it is interesting to some people. So if it was going to be a celebrity being tickled, I would have to say Steve Allen. Yes, I'd like to see Steve Allen get tickled. And you're like, who the hell Steve Allen? Well, he's the other half of the show that's not here today. So, but anywho's, Justin Bieber. Well, yeah, it is true. He is arrogant and he hated. So I will have to agree with you. So I'm see that you weren't thinking about the fun aspect of it. You were thinking about how annoying it would be to a celebrity that might be kind of a pain in the ass. I get it. I should have thought that way, but I don't normally think that way. Okay, so Let's see. I didn't see Steve pop in here anywhere. Unless, of course, All right. So we did that. Oh, the Astrolabs Rover again. How's that looking, Steve? Is it getting cooler? Oh, yay. We love commercials. I got to turn the music off because that's annoying. Sure, Justin would be a good choice to be tickled because it would annoy him. And honestly, I like his music. And I think he is starting to mature a little bit. He's not quite such an idiot. But then again, because I remember when I was younger, I was kind of idiot too, but I was a lot younger because I started working when I was 7 years old. So all right, Steve's like, you're an idiot still. So anyway, apparently the Astrolab Flex Rover's robotic arm is now working. Ooh, I guess I'm going to have to share this. Give me a moment. Share screen. Let me open. Is that the right one I want to share? No, this is the one I want to share. All right, check this out. Okay. Oh, I see, Steve. You want to torture Katy Perry because she's in town. All right, this is really cool. This is the new Astrolab Flex Rover, and it has a robotic arm operator. Now, this is something I find really interesting. I never understood it at first. It seems that everything that they do goes in slow motion when it comes to space stuff. And then it made sense to me because from all the reading I do, I don't know why I didn't ding in earlier, but if you are in space and you have 0G, which means no gravity whatsoever, you just float. If you are in low gravity, like the moon, you are at a lower gravity. But if you were to jump straight up as hard as you can, you go up, pretty far before you came back down. You couldn't jump off the moon unless you had what's the word I'm looking for? Ionics or whatever, where you could really hit escape velocity going up. Because there is enough gravity to pull you back down, and almost, which is why we have tides. I keep forgetting I should have a drink when I'm doing all the talking. When Steve's here, he talks so much I don't need as much liquid. So, anywho's, everything has to go slower because if you do anything fast, you have a tendency to knock yourself going the other direction. Sounds weird. Oh, I do like how 360 turning on the wheels. That's pretty cool. That reminds me of the don't burn up all the subjects. Oh, well, we're halfway through the show already. So after this one's done, I'm going to go to the slow down. See, when you're here, we go longer because you just rattle on and on and on. And now you're doing it here. I see. But this is pretty cool because this is functioning already. So we are looking forward to seeing that. All right, let's stop sharing this. Boop. Now, another cool thing is I managed to come up with another genuine positivity message. Yay! But Steve wasn't here. Well, actually, I used to do it all the time anyway. Had an interesting weekend. We had good weather and I was, busy as normal, but I actually had some downtime today. We planted our garden finally this afternoon, but we're not used to being outside in warmer weather and sunshine. So I accidentally dehydrated myself, ended up getting a headache and almost passed out. That was kind of funsies. And Susie was just as bad because, she's all pasty. So she actually sunburned today. I've already been working outside for the past couple of weeks, doing things with buses and the property and stuff like that. So it's not quite so bad. I don't have it. I'm tan, nice and tan. I mean, not like summer tan, but it's kind of nice. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Funguy The Entertainer with our genuine positivity message. I'm not going to duck out of the screen because that's just silly. When you blow a bubble, you know it's going to pop. Yet during the time it floats prior to popping, it is a reminder that nothing lasts forever, but it is still worth trying for the sheer pleasure of doing something that can make you smile. There's your genuine positivity message for the day and week, because We only give you one once a week. Granted, it's whatever. You go to look up different ones elsewhere. Okay, you don't want me to go through all these things. So which one should I say? Which one should I talk about? And of course, we can have a shorter show today, but I'll probably cut it at 45 minutes because, again, I'm starting to get a dry throat from all the talking I'm doing. So, anywho's, something just show starting, so he shut in. Bye, Steve. Everybody say bye, Steve. Okay, everybody said bye to you, Steve. Have fun storming the show. All right, see, what else do we have? Let's see. We'll save that one. All right, now this is something that's kind of interesting. We talked about this a little bit last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? Jeep is having an issue with their Cherokee SUVs from the 2014 to 2016 model year because water leaks in the rear liftgate may cause an electrical short. If water comes in contact with some of the electric components, a short could occur. Now, to me, that makes perfect sense because water and electricity are not good together. If you are outside under a thunderstorm in the rain and you get hit by lightning because you're all wet, if you are standing in a puddle and you don't get hit by the lightning, but the puddle goes to a tree and the tree gets hit by lightning, guess what happens? You get hit, even though it didn't hit you, because water communicates electricity quickly. So apparently 132,000 of these units are being brought in to get repaired. But I like how the notice from Jeep is being sent to the people. It goes like this. For those of you owners who have these SUVs, do not park them outside, do park them outside away from structures and other vehicles until the problem is fixed. Okay. That's sort of like common sense. But as we've discussed many, many times on the show, common sense seems to be lacking terribly nowadays. Don't get me wrong. Even as a kid, I knew people that had no common sense. As a matter of fact, one of my wife's best friends all her life was one of those. She could have been in Mensa. She was that smart. No common sense. I mean, she was dumber than a box of rocks about so many normal things. When it came to like science stuff and math stuff, she could multiply 10-digit numbers in her head. It's like, but she's like couldn't figure out how to do things that everybody else does for granted. Just the way it is. So nowadays you have to tell everybody in long version what to do and not to do. Very funny. So, anywho's, let's see, what else do we have? I had a subject that I found earlier. I shouldn't have moved it over here because I wasn't thinking. I knew Steve wasn't going to be here, but I forgot, and then I remembered it was too late by that time. So, give me just a moment while I do what Steve normally does and look stuff up that I saw. This shouldn't take too long because I already got the main website open that I saw it on. Where did it go? Where did it go? And of course, since it was something I saw today and it was uplifting versus negative, it's probably gone already. I just absolutely love them. Okay. God, everything went back to, Sharon Stone, 65 years old in teeny shorts. Interesting. See, again, it's not just Martha Stewart. Sharon Stone, 65. She's still showing it off. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Why am I not finding this? Although that was kind of interesting. Oh, and Jane Seymour is doing a swimsuit shot too. What is up? This is awesome. All these people doing that. I should probably do one now too, after all. So, Oh, yes, this one was for Steve. I probably should wait till next week, but he'll hear it on the show and they'll bring it up too. apparently, for those of you who have never played golf, never watched golf on TV, never seen anybody play golf, golf is one of those sports that is supposed to be, what's the one I'm looking for? Gentlemanly or whatever. Granted, women play golf too, so women are ladylike, I guess would be the term. You're not supposed to swear, cuss, make bizarre noises or anything like that while you are in a tournament or just playing golf with other people. Because one, it is rude. And two, it is very distracting. A lot of golfers take their game seriously. I am not a great golfer. I happen to have a knack for it. For some weird reason, I only golf, 2 or 3 times a year now, and I can still break 100. As a matter of fact, last season, I was in the mid 80s, which is just insane for how unfrequently I play golf. But I don't take it as seriously as the pros do. I mean, these guys, they play 36 rounds of golf a day, 5 days a week. So when they're out there, they're concentrating. They're making sure that they're doing the right thing every single solitary time. When I play, I get up to the tee. I got the ball down there. I go, okay, it's this kind of a shot. I should stand like this. Make sure I don't look up. It's one of my biggest things is I try to watch the ball. You're not supposed to try to watch the ball. You're supposed to look down at the ball and when you're done swinging for a fraction of a second, you should be seeing that naked tee with no ball on it anymore before you lift your head up. That way your body is in the correct position for the ball to go the direction it's supposed to go. Trust me, it's very difficult not to follow the ball. I mean, you do it anyway, but I mean, sometimes you're already moving your head before you're done with the swing, and that's what my biggest problem is. That's why I am not a pro golfer. I suppose if I played enough or somebody was on my butt constantly training me, I'd finally do it right. Because I do it right once in a while, which means, I've gotten some phenomenal shots out there. But anyway, on Friday at the PGA Championship, people got a little bit hot under the collar. Apparently, John Ram and Terrell Hatton both went on expletive rants. In other words, they are cussing and swearing about the Oak Hill golf course, specifically the par threes. And people who are watching got upset and said, this is not how professional players play and they should be, removed. I guess, one of them threw a club and John Ram actually destroyed a microphone on the 5th hole. Okay, again, that microphone was not his. One of the things I hate about drunk people at karaoke, don't get me wrong, I want people at karaoke to be having a few drinks and having a great time, because if they have a couple of drinks, sometimes they loosen up enough and they can actually sing without worrying, and then their song comes out good. But ever since rich people started doing mic drops on stage, they can afford a $1,000 microphone and buy another one, okay? But when you're a little guy and you're only getting paid $250 a show, you don't want to be buying a $1,000 microphone every show. And so it's all about respect. If it's yours, you can do whatever you want with it. Like when he destroyed his club, he should not have thrown his club because you could have accidentally hit somebody. But if you want to take his club and bend it over his knee, it's his club. He can do it. Granted, he shouldn't be doing it on the course because, again, that's poor sportsmanship. But, destroying somebody else's equipment, that is unacceptable anytime. All right. Here's my soapbox. Yay. Every once in a while I do that. All right. So that was one thing. And here is another thing that got a lot of flack today. I don't know if any of you know who Chrissy Teigen is. She actually had a photo of herself nursing her 4-month-old baby daughter. Okay. This is something that from the beginning of time, women have been doing, and people still have a cow about it. It's like, it's not porn. It's normal. All right. Get over it. If you don't want to see her boob going in and out of the kid's mouth, don't look. I mean, you should be giving them privacy anyway. You shouldn't be staring. But, I will admit I was bottle fed as a kid. Okay. So the first time I saw, as you know, an older kid, because when you're a kid, you don't pay attention to this kind of stuff. But, when I was a teenager and I saw a woman breastfeeding, I will admit, one, I was a little surprised because don't expect to see that in public, especially in a quote unquote urban area. I was in, Chicago suburbs at the time. But again, it's normal. I just go on about your day. Don't say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It's porn. It's not porn. Silly people. I mean, okay, let's see. I think that was the only other one that I had on here, which makes it rough because I wanted to go at least 45 minutes and we're only like about 40. Ooh. 40 minutes is good because I can do the word of the day of the week. There we go. Okay. I thought this was kind of interesting. I know what the word is, and most of you probably will. The word is causality. Causality's been around for a long time because it's a causal or a causal quality or agency, the relationship between a cause and its effect, or between regularly correlated events or phenomena. So, cause and effect. Everybody knows what cause and effect is. Well, causality is what cause and effect is. Okay? So, if you commit a crime, you go to jail. That's the effect. If you go to a job and you work your job and you do a good job, or even, unfortunately, some people don't do a good job and they still get paid. That's the effect of going to a job. So if you came to watch our show, you got to see our show and you got to be enlightened because it's the Don't Know show. And even though we don't know a lot, we know things and we try to help you learn something. So anyway, I certainly hope that you all enjoyed the one-man ramble show. And of course, Steve came in here for a little while. I do appreciate you guys showed up. Next week, Steve will be back. It is Memorial Day weekend next week. I'm sure we'll still be on Sunday. I don't see why we would not. If we change, we will post it on the websites or on the Twitch stream, a calendar, so you know that I changed. All righty. So I gotta look up there because if Steve doesn't say his thing, I don't know how to say my thing right. So I gotta look at his thing again. All right. So Steve would like you to live every day, and we'll see you on the next show. And I say, be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.